Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Marta here, and I'm delighted that I can welcome you in my studio. Today we will talk about a topic that I have been asked a million times. It's probably one of the most often question asked by you. I have this beautiful Christmas card from last year, and on my desk here, which I'll show you in a second, I have plenty other Christmas cards I made. And today we will talk about how to price your Christmas cards, especially if you go into the market. Many of you have been asking me, and just answering just like that, it would be difficult in writing. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a video, record a video, how to price those beauties. Each of them is individual, and this is exactly what I will be chatting to you about. How to price your labor, how to price the material, and in general, what sort of price to put when you sell it to your friends, on the markets, to the shops and all. So I hope you will stay tuned and you will enjoy it. Let's see the rest of the cards. And here they are, many different Christmas cards. You can see that some of them are quite simple, some of them are very advanced, some of them would take lots of your time, would be very time consuming, some of them would not be, some of them are watercolor, some of them are mixed media, some of them are very original. In my opinion, you cannot price different kind of cards the same price. You really have to look how much labor you put in, how much materials you put in, and how original is the design. In my opinion, if I be pricing this bunch of cards, I have some others here, if I'll be pricing those, I would definitely put as the lowest price, in my opinion, those cards. Those are watercolor cards, much faster to make, they're not very unique in their look. You can very easily repeat that sort of pattern. Many people could technically do it, even those who are beginners or at home even. So this is probably a set of cards that I would charge the least. The next probably would be them kind of cards when you have a little bit of paper and a chipboard. It's very pretty, but yet it's still very simple. You had to have a little time to fussy cut the image, add beautiful chipboard, and voila, beautiful pretty card. Not for everyone, because if you're at home and you're not card maker, it's not that easy to create cards like that. You do need a little bit more materials, craft things for this card. My next would be I would put this bunch of mixed media cards similar to this one, and I tell you why. In my opinion, these are more, you need more time to make those, but I think these are more different. I think they are more unique in their look, but probably it would be 1, 2, and 3. This would be probably cheaper a little than that. Still, I prefer them. I love them to bits. They're last year, all of them are last year, and you can find videos on that, but I'm a huge fan of those, and I think they should be priced very well, because it's a really pretty design, really pretty, that would just be, people will be amazed with it. But again, it's much less materials, less time. It's very precise design though, but I think less time, so it would be on the list of like 3. So watercolors first, simple scrapbooking, eco cards, and then move on to mixed media. Those are much more advanced cards. You need plenty products in it, you need plenty ideas in it. You have all kinds of, you have materials and flowers and chipboards, you have some stamping, you have some embossing on the chipboard, you have some lace, some tulle, some texture, some glitter. You have loads of things happening here. So in my opinion, because I should say that at the beginning, this is my opinion in general, this is how I would see the cards being priced, my cards. So these would be the most expensive one, because they simply cost me the biggest amount of time to make, and materials wise as well. This would be something I would be spending the most money on, and research more regards what to put on those cards. You need to know how much you paid for your materials, how much is the chipboard, the flowers, whether you buy them in packs. You have to kind of know how much the card itself really cost, how much materials you put in the card. Another thing is how much your hour of work cost. I think if you would really make one card only, and you put so much heart into it, and you spend an hour or two even on the card, or 3, then if we think about how much per hour we should earn, plus the materials, plus some earnings on top of that, your card should be costing 50 euro, 40 euro, and nobody would pay for that. Realistically speaking, nobody will pay this. One of the good example how to price your cards is to check your competition, local markets, local shops, internet shops, galleries. See how much other artists are charging, what kind of price range your card would fit in, whether this is the simple range where you, let's say, charge between 3 and 5 euro, or maybe the top of the range when it's around 15 euro, 12 euro, maybe something in between. It's pretty hard to say. I should definitely say this at the beginning of the video. It's very individual how you price your cards, and that's not only about Christmas cards, it's about all year round cards, all your arty products, canvases, altered pieces, projects that you do individually per order for others. It's really hard to price them. Probably that's why you're asking me and others how to actually price those beautiful handmade items. It's hard to price handmade because it's your heart there, your soul, your thoughts, your materials, your ideas, your everything is in there, because we make those pieces with love. But to make this short, check how much really your material costs, how much really you sit and do your card. Maybe it's better to sit down and make cards together. You have one set of watercolors out on your desk, and you are preparing and cutting shapes of your cards, I mean bases like squares, you preparing those in advance. You have 5 squares on the table and you work simultaneously on 5 pieces, so obviously your labor cost and time will be much smaller, so then you can charge less. Now, important thing is, of course, we should price ourselves. We should know our worth, because it's super important. It's our heart that goes into those pieces, and I totally understand those who have no stress of just pricing and charging, and they expect that, you know, that the piece deserves to be paid this price, of course. But I think, honestly, I was doing Christmas markets for 6 years ago when I started Craft Journey. I've done at least 2 years in a row of Christmas markets, so 4 years ago, and selling to friends as well and to shops, and it's a learning curve for everyone to price. I really was starting very low with my prices because I wanted to check it. I wanted to have some sale. I really wanted to have movement in my stock as well. I wanted to experience it, and I was afraid that if I overcharge it, even though I felt I should charge X amount, but I felt if I overcharge it, what's the point of keeping it for the next year? So I was, you know, trying my hand at this price, looking at others and seeing what I could really charge, checking others, because there's tons of people out there that are selling products already, handmade items. Checking out there will be a good advice, and this will give you some kind of idea. You can always go lower or a bit higher or something similar. I have few cards in my Etsy store, and it's very hard to actually price them. So what I did is I'm selling 3 cards in a pack for X amount of money. So for me, I'm trying to choose and make a lovely pack of 3 cards for whoever is buying those, because it's very hard to price individually, I think, because I would feel that, oh, this card should cost, let's say, only maybe 5 euro, but the other one should be 12, and people will be like, but why? So I went on the easy option, and that's another good advice for you. If you are on the Christmas market, you can make bulks. You can make 5 similar cards, so you make them faster, you use exactly the same materials, and you are, I feel I'm talking too fast, sorry if I am. So you have less time to make those because you make them in in the factory. You have less materials because you make using the same materials, so you can buy them in bulk, cheaper as well. And you can just sell a bulk, which would be cheaper for a customer. That's one of the option. Or you could sell it like every 3 cards for the price of 2, or maybe every choose any 3 cards for X amount of money, or pick and mix, or whichever. Try to use that kind of way as well. We all love promotions, let's be honest. Free shipping, we love that. Obviously there's no shipping involved in the live markets, Christmas markets that you are there, craft markets, so this option is not available. But option 1, maybe buy 2 third free, could be a good idea, or buy 3 for the price of 2. So that's something to think about it, I believe. Let me think what else I can advise you about how to price your cards properly. One important thing that came to my mind is that depending on the country, of course, we have different currencies. You have euros, you have dollars, you have zlotys, rubles. So whichever currency as well, you have to check in your country really how much others are charging. And I can't tell you the exact prices because they wouldn't be accurate for your country maybe. So check your local stores, check internet, Etsy stores, check maybe on Facebook people are selling their cards. Google for things, how to price the items or prices for Christmas cards. Make a research as well. It's important to make a research. You could also ask your friends, close friends, how much would they pay for that card, whether it was €2 only worth for them, or maybe €8. Oftentimes when I was pricing my items, my friends would say, oh, you charge way too little. Well, it's a tricky thing because for them it's very little maybe, but for us we maybe feel that this is absolutely the correct amount. So listen to others, but don't fully accept of what others are suggesting you. Just think for yourself, make a research, check others. That's the best option, and just go and try and see for yourself. Being on the market, being there with people on the Christmas market, it's amazing experience. Myself and Lucas and Emily as well, we were on Friday, Saturday, Sundays, we Christmas markets those 3-4 years ago. We loved it, enjoyed it, eating behind the table some sweets, because other market sellers, they were making like biscuits and buns and cakes and coffee, fresh coffee. It was just amazing. So I encourage you to actually go on those markets as well. You have to know that there is a price for a table always. So you need to don't think that, oh, €20, €50, that it's a lot. Have a look how much stock you have. If you actually are able to earn enough to cover your table first, you have to cover your cost of table first. So if you have 20 cards, maybe that's not really enough to go on the market. But if you have 50 cards, or whichever, different sort of cards, as in different styles, different techniques, different ideas, then it's fabulous to go and maybe add something else, maybe handmade Christmas decorations for Christmas trees, it just maybe then if your market stall will look pretty, people will just go in and see. If they only see 10 cards on the table, that's a rare that they will like the choice and that they will go and buy it. Again, I could be wrong. I'm only saying from my experience. When we're going on the markets, my stall was full of things, and always just filled with different bits and pieces for handmade. I was doing decoupage bottles, I was doing cards, I was doing jewelry, lots of things. Okay, I could be talking about that. I should maybe talk about how to sell in general. Few advices on Christmas markets. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do next. Few advices, few tips and tricks how to sell on Christmas markets. I'll do that maybe. So check the videos in my YouTube channel, because there will be more chatty videos done, I hope. Do your research. Check the price of competition on online stores, local stores. Ask your friends how to price it, what they would pay. Check how much the material cost, and also how much time really you spend. Maybe you're spending too much, and maybe you should really reduce the time of card making. Maybe you're putting a bit too much of yourself, and then it's not worth it, unless you don't mind that, and you don't mind how much you charge, and you don't mind whether they sell or not. Yeah, so it's really personal thing about how to sell your cards, your precious things to your friends, to your relatives. To be really honest, 95% of the time I was giving them for free. I could not charge anything unless really someone very close to me was like forcing me, no, I want to pay it, I want to really pay it. But most of the time it happened that I was just giving them for free, and I was happy with that, of course. Obviously not if it's 20 cards, but if it was one card or so, something. Same now during the year when someone needs a card for birthdays, I was the same. But maybe if you don't want to give them for free because it was your time and your cost of materials, you could say, look, I charge you for the materials only. And that would be perfectly fine, I think. Now, one more subject, how to sell your cards to shops, your Christmas cards to shops. Obviously, the shop needs to earn some commission as well, so you have to go a bit lower with your prices, given it to the shop. Also, it depends whether the shop is taking your cards just to have it for a while without paying you anything and only pays you when they sell, or if the shop is straight away buying them from you. So you have to think about that, whether they taking 3 cards or maybe they taking 50 cards. When I was doing cards for post office, I was usually making 50 cards, and I was making them in some sort of similar way. So I was making them much more efficient, faster. They would have similar items. I would buy things in bulks, so I would able to charge them. Let's say in that case, as far as I remember, I was charging $2.99 for a post office, and post office was selling it for $4.99, which I was happy with because I had 50 cards sold, and I was making, as I said, some of them were slightly cheaper and making a little more expensive, but in general I was able to sell those 50, so I didn't mind charge a little lower because post office had to earn something on top of them as well, because they were the ones that they were displaying and selling. So as well, it's not an art gallery. Art gallery would have probably different prices, and maybe even the same item would be charged more than on the post office. And I remember that when I went to post office, that was many years ago, and I've asked about selling my handmade cards. The owner was saying, well, but they are handmade, they wouldn't sell in the post office because we don't sell expensive things. I said no, I can make you cards that are pretty, then handmade, not necessarily very expensive. And that's when the deal was sealed. I've done cards that would sell on post office. People really appreciated that. For not that much money, they could buy some handmade, and they were really pretty, unique and different. And in the competition, there was at least 1,000 other just printout cards, and mine would still sell, even though the printouts were much cheaper, for €2 or €1, and these were for 5. People would still buy them. So you have to really find the best solution for your cards, where you're selling them, to who you're selling them, how many pieces you have. It's a tricky subject, but you have to find your most comforting zone for yourself. Wishing you best of luck in your adventure of selling your handmade. It's a fabulous journey to take, so just try it. You have to try it and trust your instincts that it will be good, it will be fine. Tons of people are selling handmade and making a living from it. Not an easy thing, but it is possible. Certainly Christmas markets are fabulous to start off. There is this amazing atmosphere. People love it, enjoy it. We enjoyed it too. Sometimes one day could be total disaster and you sell nothing, and other can be fabulous, absolutely outstanding day where you will sell half of your product. So you never know. Don't get discouraged. Keep up good work. Believe in yourself, and if you believe in yourself, if you have support in your family and friends, I'm sure you will be fine with time, because things takes time. So best of luck, good luck, and really would love 2 things from you. 2 things. One is to share this video with your friends so others could see, because I know that tons of people was asking about how to price Christmas cards, how to price cards in general. So I would really love you to share this video, and also please write in the comment your thoughts about it, your advices, the way you see the subject. Maybe others will read it, enjoy it, take some tips from you. Obviously I didn't include everything. I probably forgot about 2-3 things that I probably should say. If I remember in the meantime, I'll re-added, re-recorded. But yes, leave the comments under the video what you think about how to price the items, how to price the cards. Not an easy subject, a little tricky one in general, how to price the items, because then they are handmade, made with love for others to love and enjoy them. Enough of chats. Grab your materials and start making Christmas cards, because I'm sure that Christmas is around the corner. I didn't do any this year, but I am now. I brought down all my Christmas goodies downstairs, and today or tomorrow I'm gonna start making Christmas videos. So yeah, I hope you will like that. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon, and let me know what you think. Bye.